All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of System Shock Radio. I, as always, am your host, Nigel. And today, I've got a pretty interesting, pretty exciting episode for you all. So, as we wait for people to trickle in, of course, I had some last minute setting up to do, so I had to move the episode to 2 o'clock today. But, nevertheless, we will get started just a moment really quickly. Of course, last night at 11 p.m. was another episode of Nigel Dixie's Tales from the Labyrinth, where I do my poetry readings. So, if you missed that, go check that out. And there's a page for it as well on Facebook. And in the meantime, also speaking of pages, there's also a page for System Shock Radio where I'll also post my Tales from the Labyrinth episodes. So go check that out. And finally, a YouTube channel under my name, Nigel Dixie, of course. Go check that out on YouTube, where the System Shock Radio episodes are archived for you all to watch and to view. And I'll also be archiving Tales from the Labyrinth episodes on there as well. So lots of cool, exciting stuff. And of course, coming up this week on Thursday, Christmas Eve, I have a very special guest. It's going to be my younger sister, Alana. And we're going to talk about Christmas memories, our favorite stuff about Christmas, and just hang out with you all and just have a good time. But without any further ado, let's get right into it. And the first topic I have for you all is actually kind of talking about Christmas this year. So, Christmas 2020, this definitely has been an interesting year, to say the least. That's probably not the word other people would use to describe it, but it's definitely been an interesting year with everything that's going on. We may not be able to see a lot of our family and or relatives around Christmas time, which is unfortunate, but hopefully during the holidays you guys are staying safe, and hopefully you guys are still in touch with your relatives, even if we can't be there physically, calling up your relatives, FaceTiming, Google Duo, Skype, all that good stuff. Just let your family know that you're still there with them and wish them a Merry Christmas and everything, because now more than ever we have to stick together. Even if, like I said, we can't be there physically for each other, we can still be there in spirit and emotionally. So take some time on the holidays, even if it's just for a minute, to just call up one of your family members that is not there with you, who just wish them a Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. And of course, happy holidays to you all as well. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, just happy holidays to each and every one of you as well. But next up, I want to talk about a very, very special, interesting man, to say the least. A man that I've been knowing and watching since I was a child. That man is Mr. Chef Gordon Ramsay. And it's surprising. I've been doing this whole System Shock Radio thing for over a year, if you count Phoenix Rising Radio, but almost a year for System Shock Radio itself. And I never once got to gush about Chef Gordon Ramsay, but I guess now's the time. So, Chef Ramsay is an interesting person, to say the least, of course. You may know him for his appearances on Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, Hotel Hell, 24 Hours to Hell and Back, all that stuff, and various cooking shows and everything. And he's a man with a, I guess, persona, if you want to call it that, where he's known for yelling, screaming, and being angry, funny lines, zingers, and everything. And he's interesting in that way. And from the surface, he does seem like quite a bit of a jerk. And for yelling, screaming, bringing so many people to tears. But it goes a little deeper than that. When you watch stuff like Hell's Kitchen, if you really watch it, not just the highlights and everything, but if you really sit down and watch it, you'll find that. Now, I will say this about Chef Ramsay. Sometimes he does go a little too far. I'm not gonna lie, but when you really peel back the surface, oftentimes the chefs, when they come onto Hell's Kitchen, they're all talk. They're very arrogant. They talk about how they're head chefs, how they're professionals, how they've been in the industry for so long, for years, decades, even in some cases. Yet they mess up on simple stuff that amateurs should. That even if you're new to cooking, you shouldn't mess up on. Oftentimes it's common sense. Sometimes they forget to turn the stove on and turn the oven on, and oftentimes that frustrates Gordon because you're supposed to be this professionally trained chef, this big time chef, and you're messing up on simple stuff like that. And I noticed that's really gets on him when they overcook stuff, undercook stuff, don't taste anything, no seasoning, none of that. That really drives him crazy. But also, and this isn't just for Hell's Kitchen as well. We also see this in Kitchen Nightmares as well. Oh, out of all the Chef Ramsay shows, Hell's Kitchen and Kitchen Nightmares are probably the ones that I watch the most. But it also reveals the character of Gordon Ramsay, how he's actually a super nice, super chill person. From what I heard, he's actually very nice. He's on, off camera, I should say, and he's actually very kind, from what I heard. But why then is he like this on TV? Well, I have a couple theories as to this. The first is, of course, dramatization. When you're on TV and you're doing something for TV, you want to give the audience something to look at, to view, to be interested in. And that's why you have reality shows like Jersey Shore, Real World, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, because they're interesting for on TV, by definition that is. But they're interesting. They do interesting stuff that keeps people invested and watching. And I feel like some of that is dramatized, but also because I feel like Chef Gordon Ramsay is the way he is because he has standards and he does things a certain way, and he has such high standards. He doesn't want to send out subpar crap food. He wants it, if he's gonna send food out, he wants it to be good food, of course. And I feel like he takes what he does very seriously to the point where it frustrates him when it's not done correctly. And it's something that I'm guilty of. I'm sure you're guilty of as well. Something that you love to do and you're passionate about. When you see it done wrong, it drives you crazy. And I feel like that's kind of how it is with Chef Ramsay. But he's also extremely entertaining, which is why people keep watching and keep coming back. Because let's be honest. Yeah, you do want to see them cook good food, but you also want to see Chef Ramsay go off. But that's gonna do it for that. Of course, like I said, I'm surprised I haven't talked about him before, or I might have. I'm not sure, but anyway, we're gonna move on to something else. I'm surprised I haven't talked about before. Another one of my favorite video games. So, as I mentioned before, Spyro the Dragon is one of my favorite video games. Of course, I love video games, but another one of those is Ratchet and Clank. And now, Ratchet and Clank, not surprisingly, was made by the same company that made Spyro the Dragon, which is Insomniac Games. They're also responsible for Spider-Man 2018, that in the PS4 Spider-Man, and Miles Morales that just came out this year actually. And I love Ratchet and Clank. It's such a fun game. Now, the main selling point for Ratchet and Clank is the gunplay. Of course, you do have your melee weapon, the Omni Wrench, but a lot of the gunplay, hey, there are so many guns that serve a variety of purposes and are just a blast. They're fun to use. When I say blast, no pun intended, of course. But they're a blast. They're fun to use, and you can cause a lot of destruction on there. And it's a fun game. It's now why I say I'm mainly talking about the first one here. Right? It's a bit of a difficult game. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the enemies take quite a few hits to defeat, but it's still a pretty fun game. And Ratchet & Clank is a series that's been still going on even to this day. They just released, I think, Ratchet & Clank Ripped Apart on PS5. I think that came out. I'm just gonna do a quick Google search, but it's a series that has been going since its inception in 2002, which is really cool to see that it's still around even to this day, and thankfully it's not lost to time. And actually, okay, so it's being released in 2021, so that's gonna be next year. I cannot hate for that. I gotta get a PS5 first, of course, but uh, definitely a fun series. So, out of all the Ratchet and Clank games, the ones I played are the first one, Going Commando, Tools of Destruction on PS3, and the reboot on PS4. And I want to talk about that really quickly. So, the reboot on PS4 was a bit of a tie-in to the Ratchet and Clank movie. And I will say this. Now, the movie, unfortunately, didn't do so good. And I personally watched the movie. I watched it after it came out on Netflix. And I gotta say, definitely not one of my favorite movies. It wasn't that great, to be honest. Now, probably because it's not for my age range. This type of movie was more so for younger kids, so around my niece's age. That's around her age range. But for longtime fans of the Ratchet and Clank series, it's not. It's a movie that's not necessarily going to do it for you, but it's still a pretty interesting movie. Now, the game, on the other hand, and yeah, it's not as good as the original, but it's a fun game. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, I like it as a standalone game. As a standalone game, it's really good. It's visually pretty to look at, and while it is a lot shorter than the original, it's still quite a bit of fun. A lot of the weapons from the previous games show up, as well as some other ones that were in later games that show up. So, of course, you got weapons like the Bone Glove and the Pyroster, but you also have later series weapons such as Mr. Zircon and the Groovatron. So, it's pretty interesting to see how they blend all those games together. And, of course, the Rhino. It's not a Ratchet and Clank game without the Rhino, but I just want to take some time to gush about that game. I do love it a lot, and probably one of my absolute favorite games, one of my absolute favorite game franchises. But next up, we're going to talk about Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie, not the song. I think I talked about the movie already. I think that might have been on Phoenix Rising Radio. Oh, and of course, remember, if you missed Phoenix Rising Radio and you wanted to go check that out, it is archived on my page. I think I saved it to a collection, if I'm not mistaken. But the Bohemian Rhapsody song, it's probably one of Queen's best songs. Queen is a favorite band of mine, but probably one of the best bands of all time. And this song, for a lot of people, is one of the main reasons why. It's a really, really awesome song to listen to. It's definitely an earworm. It's a very epic song. It feels like, and that was one of the main reasons for its inception, is that it's the song. The song is kind of like an epic poem, and it definitely feels that way. It's a song you definitely should listen to, even if you're not a fan of like the rock music. If you're a fan of different types of music, even still, you should at least give the song a listen. It's a little weird, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be transparent with you all. The first time I heard it, it was a weird song. I was like, "What is this?" When I heard it the first time, but after listening to it a few times, that's when I really got into it. Definitely one of the best songs. Definitely one of my favorite songs. Definitely a contender for one of the best songs of all time, in my opinion. But and nevertheless, that's a really good song. I just have to gush about that song really quickly. And finally, final topic is going to be purpose in life. So I believe that everyone in life has a purpose for one reason or another. You are on this planet at this time for a reason, even if you don't necessarily know it yet. And I know for a lot of people, I know for myself, it took a while to figure out exactly what my purpose is. I spent time trying to figure out what exactly am I doing here on this earth. And to be honest, I'm still not 100% sure, but I feel like my purpose in life is to be kind to people and to entertain people and to make people happy, all that good stuff. And I'm here to tell you that you have a purpose on here as well. You may not necessarily know it yet, but you have a purpose here as well. You were put here for a reason. You were put here in whichever year you were born up until present day for a reason. For one reason or another, you are here, you are present, you are doing something, and in the long run, it's going to benefit someone. But uh, nevertheless, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And thank you all for the support, the reactions, the comments, the shares, the subscriptions over on YouTube, the views and stuff on Instagram. So thank you all so much for all the love and support that you guys have shown. And I will see you guys on Thursday. And remember, Thursday is the episode, the Christmas Eve episode with my younger sister. So you guys don't want to miss that. And as well as Tales from the Labyrinth. So that, remember, is every Saturday. And on Saturday this time, I'm going to try it within the morning this time. So last Saturday was the afternoon. I tried it, I think, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I did yesterday, but at 11 o'clock at night. And next we're going to try it in the morning. I'm not necessarily sure of a time yet. We're still trying to figure out this stuff, but we will figure it out. But if there's a time that you guys are interested in, do feel free to let me know, and I will see you guys later. Peace.